Здравствуйте. Починаємо. Слава Ісусу Христу. My name is and I'm glad to see you all in person, or not see, but see your names of those who are not here. I welcome all of you on our special 2021 edition of this probability and statistics course. By the way, guys, online, do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
Good. So I don't need my headset then. So on this course, we'll try to understand if probability can be understood, or if randomness can be in some sense handled, or at least taken into account or our planning. We'll try that our best that this course will not be chaotic, but what we'll certainly promise you that it will be very unpredictable and full of surprises. Well, that's course on probability after all. Good, so you know who I am, and I also know who you are. Do you? Do you know who you are? Okay, so what I know is that you are the strongest cohort of the second year students of this faculty we have ever had. Do you know why? Well, there are at least two reasons for that. First, we have never had so many of you. Almost, well, not 100, but over 90. Well, and the second reason is that out of all second year students who have ever taken this course in probability and statistics, you have the best succeed rate so far. That's a good start. Keep on moving. Okay. So now you probably guessed that I am your teacher in probability and statistics. Is that correct? No. No. Well, I will try to teach you, but actually I can't. Well, I have already tried 5 times, and I failed all of them. Oh, unfortunately, and I can support these by these student assessment of some of your older, I don't know the guy, of your older colleague. So this is the response or the questionnaire you fill after each semester. And I'd like to draw your attention to the following, maybe last part of this. So you see, the most crucial thing is that I am useless, and the only thing you can learn of this course is when you learn it by yourself. Okay, so in this world, unfortunately, there is nobody you can count 100% on but yourself. Well, actually, the things are not so desperate, desperate, because there are probably some people who can help you to learn probability and statistics. And these are our P&S, probability and statistics core team. I personally call them P&S angels. So meet your angels. These are Nadia and Natalia, teachers of this course. And we also have 4 assistants, Irina and Alexandra. They are first year students of master program. And you probably have already seen around Alexa and Sophia. So they are third year students who will help you to learn probability statistics. Any questions so far? Well, strange, because I thought you asked why I left these 2 placeholders. Actually, that was done by purpose because there are 2 extra virtual assistants in this course. I don't have their pictures, unfortunately, and I've hidden their names. Any ideas who they are? CMS? Who of them is CMS then? Both? Okay. Teams. Okay, Teams and CMS. Okay, who is Teams? Who is CMS? Probabilities. Okay, good idea. Well, actually, my interpretation is that these are Alice and Bob. You know, Alice and Bob have played so many games in their life that they should certainly know much more about probability and statistics than anybody, any living person on this earth. So these are our P&S team. Good, and we can proceed with the first lecture, but all normal programmers start counting from 0, so it's lecture number 0, where we discuss what is this course about. Good, so to start with, we'll ask several questions. So the first question is, look, these are programs in computer science and in business analytics. Why on earth do we have probability and statistics course on this program? Actually, that's probably a wrong question to start with, because we can, before we can answer this question, we should understand what probability and statistics are. Well, unfortunately, I don't have answer to this question right now, and I leave it to you to figure out you'll have 15 weeks to figure it out. But any of us have probably some intuitive understanding what probability and statistics could be. And here is the first thing I ask you to do. It's to go to this web page and enter up to 3 entries, up to 3 things or situations where you think probability and statistics are really useful. I'll try to copy paste this in the chat. Just a second, yes, control. So here we are. There is a link copied to the chat. I'll give you 1 minute to think it over and suggest your variants. Have you accessed this page? Does it work? Okay, it works. Good. Okay, actually, you can think it over during all our meeting and enter your variants even a little bit later, and we'll share the results at the end of this meeting. So you see that these questions are very simple, but very simple to pose, but very hard to answer. And actually, that's your first challenge. There is a task on CMS, it's an extra, it is bonus task. We ask you or suggest you to find out up to 5 good reasons why this course, probability and statistics, is on these programs. and also what your expectations in this course are. And well, as you can see, the authors of 20 best answers will get extra point. Good. In general, it's a very good idea to keep a blog on probability and statistics reasons or applications in the real life and real science. And I guarantee that you'll be surprised at the end when you figure out all these things. Also, maybe a very quick piece of advice. I don't know how you are. What are your standard methods of learning things? But it's a good idea to keep a kind of joint lecture notes on Google Drive or whatever. Good. As I said, I don't know the answer to the question why this course is in your syllabus, in your curriculum. And very often when a teacher doesn't know the answer to the question, he just or she just asks another question to the students. So my next question to you is, do you have any idea what book does this stuff come from? So as you see, this is contents of first, and well, first is just introduction, and the second is about some math stuff, and then the third chapter of this book is probability and information theory. So look, oops, oh, I spelled wrong button. Okay, so that's a book on deep learning. This is a very famous book by Anne Goodfellow and Joshua Bengio, who are considered to be the godfathers of the theory, and the whole book is considered to be a Bible of deep learning. So you see, at least these guys think that probability and statistics are necessary to master the deep learning and other related things. So because these programs on this faculty were designed to be very applicable, and we hope that many of you you'll be doing machine learning or research-oriented questions. That's why probability and statistics will necessarily be among your everyday tools. So this will be in your toolkit for research. Okay, good. So after this, we can quickly discuss how this course is organized. The structure of the course is very simple. So we have 15 teaching weeks, and 15 is divisible by 3 and 5. So we split the course in 5 modules, 3 weeks each, therefore. And the first module will be the simplest one. Well, in general, probability is very simple, but this is the simplest one because this is mostly about the things you might have encountered before. And you'll certainly know much of the things about combinatorics and classical probability because that's what you learned back in school. And also during the first year discrete math course. Okay. Good. Then the second one will be about random variables. That's the core notion of modern probability theory, and that's probably a new concept to most of you. Then we'll try to show how these theoretical notions actually find their applications in very applied, very real life situations. So this will be about limit theorems and random processes like Bernoulli process, Poisson process, Markov chain, and so on and so forth. And the last 2 modules are about statistics, So in the first, that is fourth, we'll discuss parameter estimation. These are, again, very standard task in every applied research, because when you start with the data, you should figure out what the model is that describes the best these data, and then continue working with this in the framework of this model. And the last part will be, again, very applied. It's hypothesis testing. Again, this is the core of modern statistics, about testing hypotheses you might have drawn from the data you see. Okay, so there are details. All the details can be found on the CMS. Have you checked CMS already? Okay, so it works. You see the course. Okay, so we are on the safe side then. And about the prerequisites, there are not so much. The only requirement is standard background in calculus. Basically, you should know how to add fractions. If you do, then you're more or less okay. If you can integrate something that's even more cooler, good. Maybe you'll need sometimes good sense of humor to go through all these challenges that are in front of you. But anyway, good. And this is the grading system. So as you know, your task in at this university is to, what's your basic task at this university? Survive and graduate from it. So to survive the whole university, you should survive each separate course. And to survive this course, you'll just need to get 60 points out of 100. And here is the grading system. We have 15 weeks, as you all know. And there are two kinds of weekly activities. These are seminars. Oh, it's obvious. And for these seminars, you can get 15 points, so 1 point per week. But also, as you remember, I've started with by saying that I'm hopeless. I can't teach you probability and statistics. The only hope is that you will master it yourselves. So to motivate you, we have prepared the activities in CMS called lessons. Basically, okay, I'll discuss it later in a second, but this is your self-preparation for each topic, which you should actually finish before the lecture. And also you can get up to 15 points for this. There will be 4 colloquia. Do you know what colloquia is? That's the wrong question. If I say colloquia, then it's not is, it's are. Because colloquia is plural of colloquium. What is colloquium? Certainly, it's from Latin. Colloquia means oral. So we'll discuss with you personally how you understand the basic notions. So we'll have these colloquia after first four modules. So it means that it's 4 times 4, which makes 16. There will be also 4 short R group labs, which cost 14. Do you know what R group labs are? Yes, so R stands for R. Yes, for R, for programming language. You will be in this course, you will be working with R. Actually, don't be afraid. It's just N plus first computer language, programming language you learn in your life. So that's not as hard. Also, there is a mini research project at the end, and 4 midterm exams. So 4 times 5s, it's 20, and also final exam, 20 grades. If your task is to survive this course, here is a very simple or very good understanding how you can get the 60 points. Okay, so what in your opinion are the easiest activities? Good. So how much can you get? 15. Ooh, you're very optimistic, but okay. Actually, the easiest one are the group activities. So I would say that group labs and mini research projects are typically things which you can, activities in which you can easily get maybe not 100%, but say 12 plus here. Then let's be modest. Out 16 for colloquia, it's easy to get 8, so it's half. And then, so it's already 20. And now from here, you can get, say, 20. And here, 20. So you see, it's already 60. So it's not as impossible as somebody could have told you. Okay. So you have actually, you see these numbers sum up to 100. And did I tell you the only prerequisite for this course is to add fractions? But actually, you also have to know how to add integers. So if you add up all these points, how much will you get? 105. What does it mean? Well, that means that you are very lucky. You haven't started the course and already got 5 extra points. Well, at least potential. Good. There will be also some bonus activities, which you, well, typically a little bit harder, but you can try to do this. Okay, so here is quickly about this lesson activity. So as I said, it's meant for self-preparation. The point is that you are supposed to master the very basic notions in the corresponding topic. Why is that very important? Because you see, did I tell you you are the strongest second-year cohort we have ever had? Yes? Okay, good. So look, because you are so strong, we decided that that's not a big deal for you to squeeze 2 one-year courses separately in probability and separately in statistics in one term. That means that there will be lots of notions which you have to get known even before the lecture, because if you come to lecture or if you just stay in bed and try to listen to the lecture where every second word is in English, well, all in English, but every second is not known to you, that's little point. So you are advised. I'm not using the word forced, but actually, if you don't, you'll not get these 15 points. So it's a kind enforcement. Anyway, so you're advised to look through the material for each topic in advance. If you have singled out the most basic things for these lessons, it doesn't mean that you have to learn everything by yourself, although that's the best way, as you have already seen. This is just is meant for us not to spend time on lectures explaining definitions, basic definitions. Good. So once again, you will have to work out this lesson. Then you'll get access to the quiz. And by passing this quiz, you'll get 1 point to it. Okay? Pay attention that these activities, both activities, close at 22, so 10 p.m. Each Tuesday, so before the actual lecture. And in total, they contribute 15 points because we have 15 weeks. Good. Now seminars. You probably know how our seminars will be organized. Have you asked your older colleagues? Okay. So, well, on the seminars, you'll be solving problems. That's clear. And also you'll be passing this, so explaining these solutions to everybody else in the room. But to make it more organized, they'll split each group. So we have 4 groups. Each group will be split in 4 teams, up to 6 persons, 6 students in each. So I'll say BA1 will be split in 4 teams for each module. And then you'll be solving these problems, seminar problems within your teams. And on actual seminar, 2 of these teams will go to 1 room, the other 2 to the other room. There are 2 rooms for seminars booked. And then there will be 1 teacher or teacher assistant in that room. And each team will explain the solutions in turn. Okay? So your task is certainly to solve all these problems and explain them clearly to all present in the room. And then if all team members have contributed equally to the solutions, then each of them will get the same number, the same point for the seminar. Okay? But certainly, if somebody refuses to explain something, then the grade will be decreased. Any questions so far? Yes, please. They will be randomly, certainly randomly. No. You will come to enter the seminar room, and then we'll randomly assign the tasks. So basically, if there are 8 tasks, then they are designed so that say task problem 1, problem 2 are almost of equal difficulty. And then one of these will go to the first team and the other to the second team and so on. But this will be done only at the beginning of the seminar. So potentially you should solve all the tasks. Okay, good. Well, you know the schedule. It's important to go to follow the schedule and actually to go with your group. Okay, bad luck for CS2. Oh, one of them is CS1, but good. So some other activities I've already briefly touched upon. So lab assignments, mini research project at the end. So for colloquia, for midterm exams on CMS, actually, because we have no capacities to fit all of you in one. Yes, please. You will be given this task after the seminar for the next week. And they are already on the CMS. Have you checked? You don't have CMS. What do you mean you don't have? You are not enrolled on the course yet. Did you check? How long ago? Are you kidding? Are you a student of this university? Okay. Who doesn't have access to the CMS course? Well, you already failed the course. Good. Contact me, actually. So some standard things, deadlines. Deadlines are to be kept. Yeah, so please follow keep up with the deadlines. Also, if you miss some activity, for instance, you fail to finish this lesson and pass the quiz, well, unfortunately, there is nothing we can do because the CMS closes it on 10 p.m. on Tuesday, and so that's it. Okay, and so on. I should probably not spend much time on these code of academic honor. Certainly, you are assumed to not to lie, cheat, or steal solutions from your colleagues. The only person who is allowed to cheat on this course is me. I'll be actually cheating. Well, did I say cheat? Lie is also bad, not good word. I'll not be telling you all the truth. Not always, okay? So not always telling you all the truth, but otherwise we assume you know what is supposed to be academic misconduct. Good. So in particular, you are allowed to discuss homework. Okay, there is no homework any longer. Tasks with others, but if you submit something to CMS, this should be your original submission. I mean, you should be able to write this up in your own words to understand and to reproduce the proof or explanation. Good. Yeah, okay. There are two ways to communicate with us: through Teams and in person. These are the most efficient ones. So, however, we ask you or pay attention that and ask you to obey the corporate ethics. It means that you shouldn't expect us to answer your questions immediately. Look, some of you may think, look, I have posted that question 2 minutes ago. He is online and not responding. If you see me online, that's probably my smartphone, which is online. You know, this smartphone thinks he's smarter than me and can act on my behalf. So very often we are online, but we are not available to answer your questions immediately. But we'll try to. We have how many? Plus 7 plus 2, 9 teachers and assistants for 90 students. Well, it's 1 to 10. Our chances are not as slim. Good. So if you post your questions late in the evening, we may not be able to answer it immediately. We'll try, but you should not count on that. If you ask something, although the deadline is at 10 p.m. and you ask your question before 5 to 10, well, it's not for sure that we'll be able to answer it immediately. Good. Please use the direct messaging only for personal questions. Everything which is related to the course, structure, tasks, and so on, should be posted on the general channel because somebody may answer your question even before us. So we encourage you to discuss the things on CMS or in Teams very actively. We'll try our best to put all your grades as soon as possible, well, within a week or two at worst, for written tasks. Okay, consultations are important actually. Please don't ignore them because that's your unique opportunity to ask questions in persons. And then, look, very often we feel that there is a kind of understanding that teachers and students are competitors, that we are pleased when we expel anybody from the university. That's not the case, and actually our task is not to lower down the number of enrolled students at this university. Our task is to help you to graduate from it, as you know. And therefore, we encourage you to contact us, to approach us as soon as we have some concerns, some suggestion, some complaints, and so on. In particular, there are lots of assistants, and you can, if you don't dare to tell me how stupid your lecture is, you can direct this message to assistants. But please don't bear it inside of you. Okay, so in general, we are open to any kind of suggestions or complaints or ideas, cool ideas, how to make this course and this university even better. Good, and finally, okay, some remarks about this year course. Well, that's actually, as far as I understand, the last time we are here. There are so many of us in this room. In general, this is already against the quarantine rules. Nobody of you is wearing a mask. Nobody but me. Okay, well, but if serious, we have certainly no possibilities to hold our lectures offline. So they will be in Zoom online. The same about consultations, although if you need some individual consultations, this can be arranged with any of our assistants or with me, online or offline. Seminars, as long as the situation permits, will be held in the rooms, so offline. Otherwise, we'll use Teams. Well, you know, you survived the last year. In online mode, please turn your cameras on. So, as I said, next week or on Wednesday, I'll be in front of many names, unknown names to me. And believe me, it's much more pleasant to see live persons than just these black boxes. Okay. The next thing is please log in into Zoom under your own name. I do believe you have nothing to be ashamed of your name. Yes, you should be proud of yourself. Therefore, there is nothing wrong if you just put your name as it is and enter it and enter Zoom that way. Okay, and maybe to finish, maybe let me share with you some observations from past years, how to actually survive, succeed in this P&S course. So certainly you should set up your goal, and your goal is to get at least 60 points. Therefore, you should concentrate on the main things, in particular tasks that bring you less than 5 points are probably not worth spending much effort. So also a very important thing about time management. If you start learning something 2 hours before the deadline, then you may forget these things for the actual exam. On the other hand, half an hour is probably too little time. So try to allocate something in between. Good. Then, well, your task is to know the solutions to problems. So to this end, you can just find out the solutions in Google, or you may just ask your classmate. And also, it's not necessary to spend all the time on every single activity we suggest. You can certainly choose what brings you quicker to the aim. So these are 5 little steps to fail probability and statistics course. You may even get 60 plus points, but you'll not succeed in P&S this way. Although that's fine if your only goal is to pass this course. Okay, good. Well, I hope you understand what I meant. Next, can you suggest word here? Say it again, please. Say it once again. I don't. A lot of what? What words should I put here? Drinking. Okay. Saves a lot of drinking. Okay. Good. Well. And what do you usually drink before or instead thinking? Any other idea? Time. Okay. Efforts. Good. My variant was this one. And oops. And that's an important question. Should you Google the thing you don't know the answer to? What do you think? To Google or not to Google? The question is. It depends. Well, that's very diplomatic, but yes or no? Yes or no? Maybe no. Well, actually, there is nothing wrong if you Google something or if you look up some problem, solution to the problem in the internet or in the book, textbook. However, in this case, the worst thing you can do is just to copy paste it and submit, or just read it and bring the solution to read it and bring the solution to the seminar hoping that you will be able to reproduce it. Actually, if you accidentally ran across a solution to a problem in the internet or in the textbook, you should just understand, read it carefully, understand every single step in the solution, close the browser or textbook, and then try to reproduce or to see if you can put down the arguments or similar arguments that looks like a complete solution. Good. And then if you see a problem, then the first thing is to read it and try to think. Before solving, it's a good idea to think. If this doesn't help, try to think again. Okay, and then open finally that textbook and read the definition. Look, it's very important to clearly understand all the notions, basic notions in this course. Each year, despite all our efforts, we hear something like probability of a random variable or expectation of an event. This sounds okay to you right now, but that's total nonsense. And that means complete not understanding of the basic notions. So please manage to understand, to memorize. I'm not saying memorize, but understand the basic notions first, because after without this solid terminology, you will not be able to express yourself clearly and to explain the solutions, even though you might intuitively understand what to do, but vocabulary is important. Okay, now our workflow. So we have 15 weeks. And we have seminar, we have lectures, consultations on Wednesday and seminar on Friday. When do you usually start your working week? What's a natural day to start the working week? Sunday, good idea. Things that you can't start, yeah, well, that's bad time management. Well, I have two suggestions. We can start our working week on Wednesday because it's working week, 2 W's, and Wednesday is W. But even better is to start it on Friday. So you are already 3 days late, actually. Why Friday? Look, for most people, Friday is the last day of the week, and they are already very tired. But if you start your working week on Friday, you are fresh of energy and can complete lots of things by Friday, actually, because we finish topic on Friday with seminars, and immediately we start the new topic on afterwards. Okay, so well, it means that actually you have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday to get acquainted with this new topic and complete all the tasks you're supposed to. Okay. Well, you can actually ask your older colleagues how they managed to survive this course. Oh yeah, and let's look what you entered for these questions. There is. Okay, so that's what you answered to probability and statistics in real life. So PIVO is certainly very important. thing to choose, but most of you said gambling. Well, guys, I warn you, don't start gambling before you actually learn probability and statistics. Okay. Afterwards, you'll see how to ruin a casino. So it'll be on a good, safe place. What's else? Okay. So actually, there is another question to you. And that's, you can answer, do you see it on your devices? So you are asked to share with us your ideas, your expectations, how difficult this course is going to be. You should, well, no, I guess it's interior polling inside Zoom. Why I am suggesting you these activities, because we'll try to use them quite often on the lectures, and that's just to okay, so that's already over. Usually I can stop this polling after 75% have already answered. You know why 75? And I see that there are a few of you that haven't answered yet. Okay, so let's stop it now and I can share the results with you. So you're quite optimistic about this course. That's a good sign. So with this, I'll probably return to the presentation and ask you if you have any questions to ask. Yes, please. So you can flip a coin and decide which. Well, probably I looked into some preliminary version of your schedule, but I'll correct this. So certainly you have official schedule, which you got from the Dean office. Any further questions? Yes, please. No, on the Tuesday. Yes, there is lesson 1, which closes at 10 p.m. tomorrow. So you have lots of time. This is actually a very simple thing. It's just to refresh your memory about all these standard combinatorial notions. But there are something new. Very little, but still. Any other questions? Battle, yeah, sure. So take heavy armory with you. How would you battle if you present the same solution to the same task? Good. And who? Good. Well, no, the idea is actually that while one team or one person is presenting the solution, the other team or the assistance teachers can ask questions. And the person who is presenting should be able to answer these related questions. And yeah, so that's how it is going to work. During the explanation, of course, because if you say something, somebody from the other team can ask you why. You try to explain, and he or she said, why? And then, so what? So you should be able to answer all these tricky questions. Did we promise, so to say, very, very, very smooth and easy-going environment on this course? You said this is going to be easier than the other courses. So that was not me. So yeah, sometimes it's hard. Yeah, sure. You should calm down, turn on your good sense of humor, and then try to rule out this situation. Any other question? Yes. What do you think? Sure, it's probability theory. Any other question? Is your final grade what? Yes, and the only freedom you have is to choose the distribution for which we should sample this. So if you understand, after completing this course, you understand what's the best choice of the distribution, you can suggest them. Yeah, I skipped this, but yeah, so 10 p.m. tomorrow. It's the first deadline. Also, there is a bonus extra activity, which I already announced on CMS. And yeah, that's all I wanted to share with you today. If there is no further questions, then that's it. See you on Wednesday.